I'm back again, and you already know it's DDDs. I actually switched my deck up. I switched it up, and it's really, really consistent now. I'm going to show you what I use. I feel like I'd be shortchanging you guys if I didn't show you guys this really, really consistent build. So let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, and also, thank you to everyone who comments on my videos and subscribes and everything like that. I really take you guys' comments into consideration, and I try to change up my deck to make it just the best I can. And you guys have really been helping, so thank you. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the show Tokyo Ghoul, but I love this anime. I recommend watching it. It's really, really good. 3 Ragnaroks, 3 Kepler, 3 Lamia, 3 Swirl Slime, 3 Slime, double Thomas. Okay, so now I run, instead of two, I run 3 Copernicus. I run three because he makes the deck so consistent. Just opening up with him, allowing yourself for the Foolish Burial is really, really crazy. And I actually still do run Foolish Burial in the deck. So I essentially have 4 of them in the deck, and allows you to just set up your graveyard for revival and things like that. And it can make your boards you can vomit out some pretty crazy stuff. So yeah, I recommend you guys try out running 3. Like test running 3. Test my build. I run 1 Baphomet because he can also change levels of DD monsters. And usually when I'm comboing off, I usually summon him last in order to change the level of one of my DDs last, so it doesn't restrict me from summoning anything else that I would want to summon. 1 Orthos, you could play 2. I think 2 could be good. I play 1 because he's searchable and he can be an MST, and he's also a tuner. You can make Siegfried with him and other synchros. 1 Armageddon, when a monster is destroyed on your side of the field, he can gain that monster's attack. He's a 3K who has to be targeted to be destroyed by spells and traps. I run double Max C because you want to draw cards. Usually, if your opponent knows what you're playing and you Max C them, usually they want to stop unless they're playing something really, really explosive, like Zodiac Beasts, or even Metal Foes and Blue Eyes can be explosive. But even then, those decks usually, if they're playing as DDD, they usually want to stop because they don't want you starting out with like 7 or 8 cards, because you can make some ridiculous boards. Obviously, we have our bread and butter. I run triple Allure. I don't play trade-in at all in the deck because I learned that trade-in is actually a brick, because whenever you trade in one of your level 8s, usually you draw into spells or traps that are not going to help you, or monsters that are not going to help you at the moment. So I'd actually rather keep my my level 8s in my hand so I can just use Copernicus to dump whatever I need to into the grave. Double Swamp King. Some people can play 1. The way I play personally, I need 2. So I also bumped up Twin Twisters to 2 because you don't draw it too much. You don't never draw it. You don't never draw it, but you draw it enough. And then you always, because I run like the 3 Copernicus and stuff, you can always just there's a lot of things to Twin Twister off, and you don't draw it too much. And then I feel like if you're running 2, you have just enough back row hate to plow through your opponent. Usually 2 Twin Twisters usually will get the job done, but then you have the Orthos in the deck as well, and you also side the Witch. I run 1 for 1. I finally got my rare. I run Foolish Burial. With this build, you could actually take Foolish Burial out and not even play it at all because you have the 3 Copernicus. But that's just me. I do it sometimes. The one Raigeki, because it's a savage card and it opens up your OTKs even more. All right, so for my traps, I got Double Strike and then 1 Vanities. You could also run Dimensional Barrier if you wanted to. You could put it in as a 4th trap. But if you're actually going to keep 3 traps, I would definitely play it over Vanities, because Vanities can be Twin Twistered. But that's just me. So for my extra deck, I got double Genghis. I run 1 D-Arc. As I was testing more and more, I feel like you kind of really need her. She takes burn damage away from you. And you can get into Siegfried and your level 8s, your level 8 singles just that much quicker and that much easier. 1 Beowulf. Usually a lot of times I summon this card. My opponent is asking me, oh, what does this card do? I tell them that it pierces. It makes all my DDs pierce, and then it's a heavy storm every one of my standby phases. And usually my opponent will do whatever they can to get rid of this card, because usually I play this card against decks like Metal Foes and Paleozoics. 1 of the big fusion. Most decks fear this card, or just about every deck fears this card because you can snatch one of their monsters and gain the attack. And then you also get to put one of your dark contracts back into your hand, which is really nice. One Formula Synchron. You use this card because you do want to be drawing cards, and then I didn't notice it was until in Spanish until a little bit ago. One Alexander, and then one Clearing for our level 7s. You could go double Alexander if you're feeling kind of saucy. It's up to you because it would it could extend combo plays even more. But that's just up to you. Definitely this could be Moonlight. Moonlight, I feel like Moonlight would be better than this because you can set up a board where you have Crystal Wing Siegfried and this. And then if this is a Moonlight, it's even better because you can bounce one of their cards back to the extra deck without relying on a Crystal Wing for a negation. Siegfried, I don't think I need to explain. He's like Xian's cousin. I run the Bills just to give my boards versatility because he can't be destroyed by battle or card effect. And if I have this with a Crystal Wing and Siegfried, it gives my board versatility because my opponent's not only going to have to think around Crystal Wing and Siegfried, but they're going to actually have to think around a beater who can't be destroyed by battle or card effects and gains attack every time I take damage. So, and then this card, it could be something like Scarlight, Void Ogre Dragon. But my thing about this card is that you have you can run a second Siegfried, and then it's just as good because it's a DD that you can revive and everything. And then a Crimson Blader. In my opinion, Crimson Blader is the most underrated synchro monster in the game because, you know, we all know what Crimson Blader does. I run the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, obvious. You want your monster negation. I run the Wave King Caesar. He's back in my deck because he can revive all your monsters. If you can set up a board with him, usually you're going to win if your opponent can't, because your opponent's going to pretty much have to break that board twice. So, yeah. And then he can also, on this, when he goes to grave, he searches a dark contract. Also, you can detach from this card at any time during any player's turn, and then you can also, you detach it anytime on your turn. You can also extend combo plays, like if you detach like a red slime, the Necro Slime, and then you can banish from grave and extend your place. I run Photon Strike Bouncer. He's a savage rank 6 because he doesn't destroy either. So because we know a lot of monsters in the game have effects upon destruction, like those ABC, like those A, B, and C, for the ABC machines. He negates and then just deals your opponent 1,000 damage, and he can pretty much lock your opponent out of a game himself because your opponent doesn't want to take that burn, so he's good. For the rank 8s, Kali Yuga and Harbinger. Alright, so for my side deck, I have triple Ghost Ogre. Because the card is really good against, it's really good against ABC and most decks for that matter. Double Vanity's Fiend. I think it's good to have a Floodgate monster in your side deck because you can still make a 38 Vanity's Fiend, and it's a 38 Vanity's Fiend. It's a tough board for a lot of decks to get over. I have double Kumongus just for tributing off big monsters that I can't get over or get rid of. I run the one Santa Claus. He's like my third kaiju. I know that your opponent draws a card, but usually whenever I summon this card over my opponent's monster, I'm 100% sure I'm going to kill this card. I'm probably going to just put a Radiant instead, or just put a Lava Golem, because Lava Golem tributes 2, you tribute into defense position, and it's 25 defense. So yeah, and your opponent burns for it. I run Griselle Prison because just summon a fusion monster and then flip this against like basically Zodiac Beasts, and then they can't XYZ summon for 2 turns. And if they can't do that, they really lost because you're just gonna bring out a bunch of synchro. Well, you can't even synchro. You just bring out a bunch of fusion monsters and then start beating over their stuff, which like your Beowulf and everything like that. I also cite double XYZ Universe because there's not many more things more savage and disrespectful than sending 2 Zodiac monsters that are exceeds to the graveyard and summoning a Kali Yuga on your opponent's turn and heavy storming their board on their turn. So this card is really, really good. You just can't summon a number of monsters. You can summon something like Failgrant, but you can't summon Harbinger. The last 2 sides are Dark Contract with the Witch and Trishula. Okay, guys, so before I end the video, just real quick, I just want to tell you guys, I like to see a lot of different diverse DD decks and a lot of different ideas people have because they give me ideas as well. So just to let you guys know, you guys can make these in DDDs. You can make all 3 of these. Although High Paladin's kind of hard to make, he's worth it. And then Archfiend Abyss. If you summon this card, your opponent's going to be like, okay, what is that? But this card is this is a savage card for sure. But yeah, thank you guys for watching my videos. I know I try to do other stuff sometimes, but you guys seem like you guys really like DDD stuff, so I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it coming. But I appreciate you guys watching my videos, subscribing, and everything like that. Please like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. I read you guys' comments. I try to get back to you as fast as I can. I know sometimes I'm slow because I'm always I'm at work sometimes and things like that. But you guys have a nice day. All right, bye.